Hey, what's up, guys? King J coming to you live from hell. And today I want to talk about like 1990s sitcoms. I'm not going to fucking break down shit I just want to give a little bit of insight because this is what the shit that I was raised on. I mean, you know, nobody sat me in front of the TV and like fucking forced my eyes open like the robot chicken. But this is the stuff that influenced me without me even realizing it. And there was always a duality with everything that I liked, you know. I was, 5 years old playing Doom, and in the background I was watching PBS Kids, Dragon Tales, Arthur, what was the other one? You know those fucking shows. And I watched a lot of Disney Channel. I could tell you all the fucking Disney Channel shows. And let me tell you something, that's not high quality fucking entertainment. That's Coomer material for a fucking kid. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon, a lot of Cartoon Network. Obviously, I mean, I know all about that shit. That's what I consumed. But there was a lot of sitcoms, particularly the cheesy ones. Because when a cheesy sitcom took you for a spin on some real actual shit, it really like took you out of the world. Because one of the interesting things that I saw, and I mentioned in another one, was when Dustin Diamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell, did his tell-all book. He talked about how the director of the show wanted it to be literally like a fucking utopian perfect world, and that's what it felt like. Because there was no real consequences. Like, there was a lesson to be learned, but it was very like vanilla. It was very like, it was black and white. Somebody was doing something fucking heinous, and at the end they learned their lesson, so it was forgivable. And everyone was kind of an asshole to each other, but it was like this perfect world asshole. Like, you say something stupid, but it's not a big deal. Not like it would be in real life, I guess. And like something like Boy Meets World, I feel like they had a lot of serious episodes in it. Particularly, like, I don't know, one that sticks with me is like they trash the school, and Sean gets caught, and there's these hoodlums, and Sean has explained to Corey that he's cut from that cloth, he's a degenerate and he's not, so he'll never understand, and he just won't get it because he's not like that. And it's this weird, like, dynamic of it, and it really just reflects a lot about a kid's self-esteem. What do they believe they are? And of course, who could forget Sean's dad dying in such an intense episode? And it's like, the way that show particularly handled shit, it was like they went really, really hard with it. And even, like, I know it sounds silly, but there was an episode where they were, like, being hunted by Scream, and Jennifer Love Hewitt was there, and even, I mean, I know it was supposed to be, like, a Halloween or something, but that shit, like, the way that they did it, it kind of did freak me out when I was little. Like, it did it. It did what they were trying to do. And I remember there was another episode in the later one when they were in college, where the redhead girl has like a nude picture that gets like leaked around the campus, which I'm sure is very relevant to today, even though it was like they blew up the picture. And I remember that shit stuck in my head as a kid like crazy, because it was like, whoa, I can't believe that happened, and that could really happen in real life. And it's, whoa, that's so mean and horrible, and it kind of fucked me up a little bit. But there was always these times to tackle serious things, like in Fresh Prince when Will's dad is there, and Will's just really excited, and his dad doesn't give two fucks because he leaves, as Will had this present, and it was a father and son figurine, like a fucking sculpture, and shit fucking brings a tear to my eye. And he tells Uncle Phil, why doesn't he want me, man? And it was like, damn, what a fucking serious ass moment. What an intense ass moment to put in the show. And the other one where Carlton and him get robbed, and he gets shot protecting Carlton. Carlton freaks out and buys a gun and shit, and that's some real shit, dude. That shit, and Will says, this stuff happens, bad things happen in life, and you just got to deal with it. And Carlton says, this is my way of dealing with it, and he has a fucking gun. And that's, You know, that's some real ass shit that they handled in a real way. And even Saved by the Bell, when Jessie has her caffeine addiction that was supposed to be speed, but the you see, it had to be a perfect world. It couldn't be that real, where she's addicted to speed and she's fucking, I'm so excited, and she fucking starts crying on Zach, which is, to me, that whole dynamic was just like, what the hell? How did this even unfold this way? But that's an intense scene. That's good acting from I forgot her name in real life, but she was in the movie Showgirls, which I actually haven't seen, but I remember when I was little, I thought, you know, that's the end game of movies, because it's basically like porn or something. It's NC-17. What a crazy rating. Oh no, mom's gonna freak. But I actually haven't seen the feature-length film. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. But another one, there's just always a lot of, I mean, there's always a lot of just real ass episodes of these shows, and they always have this weird tone where it's like gets real serious. I remember, man, you know, one of the most serious one. Well, there's two Full House episodes I'm thinking of. One where DJ Tanner gets freaking a fucking eating disorder and passes out in the gym, and then you know, Danny Tanner just tells her, you know, she's beautiful no matter what, and she just gets over it because it's a show. But that's some real shit. That's some shit that's timeless. That's the thing, is like, you know, as time does change and social media and technology evolve, a lot of things stay the same because the psychology of humans stays the same. You know, we all still have dicks and we all still fart and shit. So a lot of things change and a lot of things do stay the same, unfortunately, when it comes to issues that we may have. You know, and a lot of times we feel like we don't follow trends. It's not a cyclical thing, but it does. It, you know, if things happen in someone's life and then they pass it down, you know, you notice it over and over. And when you become aware of that, then you can have the ability to step away and say, you know what, I don't want to follow that cycle. Another very intense episode, and I think it's one of the most fucking hardcore ones, is when damn, what's the middle child's name in Full House? Stephanie? Yeah, Stephanie. Has a friend over and talking about, and he's like, oh, my dad's gonna beat me up on that one. And she's like, oh yeah, my dad will kill me. She said, oh yeah, your dad beats you too? You know, and I just tried to think of, you know, something funny like Looney Tunes when my dad's whipping my ass. It's like, what the fuck? It's hardcore. And it was like, you know, the what's it called? The fucking laugh track stops. And it's just so serious. The tone completely shifts. And it just becomes a very real moment. And, you know, it's not something you see at all in family shows or kids shows today. They very rarely deal with serious things, and if they do, it's in such a light way. It's in such a, like, you know, now it's about, you know, a kid who doesn't want to do his homework, or a kid is, you know, yelling at his parents, or his kid, you know, maybe the worst is like a divorce or something. But it's like they don't tackle things like drugs, molestation, death in the same way that they would in the fucking 90s, because, like, you know, that shit was hardcore, and it's still hardcore. But kids, you know, don't realize how hardcore things are unless, you know, something kind of opens their mind to it. I remember there was a big anti-drug thing going on when I was little, and in a way it worked. I mean, I didn't understand. I remember there was this fucking show. Well, I remember, you know, I would go to the counselors as a class when I was in elementary, and they would show us these videos, and one of them was like a kid, and I could never find it. It was a kid, and I think it was one of the most inspiring things to me. It was a kid, blonde kid, who drew this blonde little character who was like the cool version of him. And that's like fucking me, you know? That's what I feel like. I stole my whole swag from that shit. But this kid would basically draw this character to guide him and help him with like real life issues. And they would talk about real shit, you know? And there was another video that talked about kidnapping, and there was this big guy saying, you know, if you tell anyone, I'll kill your dog, and everybody was laughing at that, making fun of that. But you know, when you think about it, it's some real ass shit, and I think that's what we're missing. We're missing some real ass shit. It doesn't have to be in this hardcore, you know, mentally scarring way, but there has to be a way for us to live that's not naive, but still preserving happiness and not living with this anxiety of everything. Because that's where I think the black and white shit comes into play. Because it's like bad people, good people, bad people, good people. And then if you kind of living with everyone's out to get you, paranoia, everything's bad, that, you know, that can really fuck you up too. And that's what I think a lot of those shows were trying to do back then in the 90s. It's a different landscape now. And I don't know, I just thought I would touch on that because, you know, those memories of those episodes stuck with me. They still stick with me. Those lessons, you know, whether or not they worked or not, those visions are in my head. And now, you know, I just, you know, it's just TikTok videos that are there to, you know, give you a fucking quick burst of dopamine and leave. You know, nothing is giving you that sustainable thought process, dialogue in your head of analyzing how things are. And I know that probably sounds stupid, but I think it's important. I think it's important to address things in a particular way, a nice, you know, an easy way to digest. But what do you think? If there's any episodes that you're thinking of that I haven't talked about, you know, let me know in the comments below. That's it. King J out.